And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of Crypto, episode 711. Today is Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. And I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Jake. And we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
And let me tell you, that just sounded terrible with that capital U R. We were on the podcast, like, what the hell was that?
We got seven streams going at one time. And shout out to everybody on Clubhouse.
We in here. We are on Clubhouse today as well. What's the Clubhouse room, Bitcoin Zay?
The Gentlemen of Crypto in the Black Bitcoin Billionaires room. Shout out to everybody joining in today.
All right, today's top story is nifty news. Ellen's NFT auction flops. Mark Cuban tried to convince Ellen DeGeneres to accept Dogecoin. $50 million reportedly stolen from BSC-based Uranium Finance and Ethereum on a high at the European investment banks. 121 million digital bond news. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and check out these prices.
Oh, yeah. So our prices for today, Bitcoin is at $54,769, up 0.4%, not much movement. Ethereum at $2,709 is up 6.2%. Binance Coin at $560 is up 0.5%. XRP at 136, showing life up 1.2%. Dogecoin at 30 cents is up 13% today. So some people seeing that dead cat bounce come back. Cardano at 130 is up 1.5%. Polkadot at 33.57 is up 0.77%. Uniswap at $42 even is up 10%. And last but not least, Litecoin at 256 is up 3%, rounding out the top 10. So not much has happened except for the big pop from Dogecoin. Of course, Bitcoin is in consolidation mode right now, kind of flat. We have moved past 50K, so nothing much to worry about.
There we go. There we go. All right, some shout outs for today. What's going on? Notes from Jews, Scott, Terry Young, Antonio, Miriam, Wendy, Antoinette, Michael Williams, Check, Chieke Sissy, Tim, Terry Young, P-Man Van, Timothy Grigsby, Blues Lover, Justin Brunt, AB. Let's see, Riki's, Carlton, a lot of new names. Original Man D, Alfonso, Allen, Imaz, Corey Johnson, St. Louis checking in. Hey, I got family in East St. There we go. Kadeem, Kevin, Cassie, and Know What, and Rodney. Good morning, all, and welcome to the live stream. Top story of the day, nifty news. Ellen's NFT auction flops. It must have flopped because I didn't even know she was actually doing an NFT auction. So that's pretty interesting news. But what's going on over here with Ellen DeGeneres and her NFT auction?
Oh, yeah. So the much hyped NFT sale by popular talk show host Ellen DeGeneres has fallen flat. She went double wood. She only sold 5 out of 10 available gold editions of her Woman with Stick Cat NFT for $2,500 on the Bitski platform. I haven't even really heard of the Bitski platform, but whatever. I'm sure they did their promotions. Another 64 people actually paid $100 each for the silver edition of the same NFT. The drawing appears to have been created with minimal effort in a bid to satirize the notion that any old celebrity pedal junk will sell as an NFT. She was basically doing it as a joke. She was trolling everybody. It was a literal piece of paper with a stick figure cat, people. And she just was basically saying people will buy anything if celebrity puts as an NFT. Even though it didn't sell all of them, she kind of proved a point. I mean, she had 5 people buy a $2,500 piece of paper. I mean, come on, man. It's not her holding up a piece of paper. So again, her quote unquote NFT fell flat. But again, it was mostly in jest, just to show that you shouldn't just be buying NFTs, and pretty much anybody will just because of the hype.
So as we talk NFTs, this is the question I always get from people. What is stopping someone from screenshotting this photo and putting it on OpenSea as their own NFT, or putting it on a different platform as their own NFT?
Nothing. The thing that keeps it off is the third party that issues the QR code of that NFT. That's where the trust comes in at. That's where the decentralization sort of falls apart a little bit. But again, as companies, if you have a centralized company, we already trust centralized companies to an extent. I mean, so if they are a centralized company, I understand that, but very hard to have decentralization in NFTs because you have to trust somebody with that third-party QR code. So what it is.
All right. Oh, thank you for the tip. DC from LA, $10 tip. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Blues Lover said those 5 people were probably her staff. And from the stories we've heard, they're probably her staff with her with the iron rod above them, like, hey, y'all gonna buy that NFT today.
Let's see. Good.
Right. And one Play 5 said the cryptographic hash of it is what proves that you own it. No, for sure, I get it, but again, it's just one of those things.
Who initiates that cryptographic hash?
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Who initiates the hash?
Exactly, and that's sort of the issue. But again, if you're going to trust third parties, it's going to end up being businesses that are trustworthy. So
hilarious. Tessa said, "No more car chronicles." Derek Jackson King. No, I am back home today. I will say, pardon me for the last couple of days, folks. Until who said? I can't remember who said it yesterday. I think it was Eric Brooks. But until somebody mentioned to me that my audio was off, I had no clue the audio sounded that bad in the car. I'm going to have to break down and buy another. I'm going to have to get the iPods Studio. I didn't want to because you can't skip songs with them. So I get what they're doing. They're making sure you buy 2 pairs of iPods, the regular ones to work out in, and the studios for talk shows like this. So
you were Derek Jackson this week. You were Plies in the car.
You was everybody.
You was Hassan Campbell sitting in the car.
All these people, y'all understand? They coming off my DNA. What y'all talking about? You don't know who set the standard in these streets.
We doing live shows in the car, baby. That's how we do.
Antonio said Doge pump at the Elon shielded again. Yes, we were talking about, should we even mention it? We were like, we'll mention it with the prices. Yes, Elon is going on Saturday Night Live and he's pumping Doge again, folks. So who knows? Maybe it will actually. I mean, Saturday Night Live is May 8th. If you go in there and talk about Doge, it might pump more, or people might say they are over it. Who knows? Scott says the AirPod Pro Max work amazing. Listen, I had a pair, but you can't skip songs with it. So I brought them right back to the store the next day. So for sure. Kairos Action, what it do? All right. Let's see. Mark Cuban is in the news as he tried to convince Ellen DeGeneres to accept Dogecoin. It's a pretty funny story. This is why Dogecoin is really pumping. Mark Cuban is putting the pressure on other multimillionaires and billionaires. He's like, hey, we cool, right? We friends. You want them seats to see the Mavs again, right? Which everyone's like, it's not New York or LA, but whatever. And yeah, Mark, I think, is pressuring and leaning on his crowd to buy Dogecoin. If they, I mean, I can see Mark Cuban saying, yeah, we could do that deal, shake a hand and be like, yeah, I'll just send it to you in Doge. Hold on, Mark, wait, that was part of the deal. Like, but I'm interested in Dogecoin and I really want to know more about this. Degenerate said to her more than 1 million viewers. First of all, like, this is why all these shows are going out of style and they all get pressured at different times because they're not even real shows. It's not what people like. This isn't what Ellen woke up doing this week. She didn't wake up saying, oh, I like Dogecoin. Let's talk about it. No, like, so that's my thing. It's like, you all are just jumping on fad to fad. We call that, let's just say we call that jock riding where I'm from. And it's not nothing that people approvingly say of you, but no one wants to see someone ride someone else's jock. All right. Like, come up with your own topic. So it's crazy that all these people have these multi-million-dollar shows. They have all these interesting people working for them, all these bright ideas, and then they just hop on the fad. So anyway, with all that being said, Ellen hopped on the Dogecoin fad to her more than 1 million viewers. And of course, this is following the Dallas Mavericks' decision to accept Dogecoin as payment for merchandise last month. Billionaire Mark Cuban is seemingly attempting to get her name as well as other high-profile names to consider using it as a form of payment. In a virtual interview with the talk show host, Degenerate said on Tuesday, Cuban mentioned Dogecoin may have started as a joke, but it was now becoming a digital currency. Again, this is a billionaire telling you that a coin that is locked away, 65% that is locked away in 20 wallets is becoming a digital currency. Dallas Mavericks owner mentioned the success the basketball team store had after accepting the token in March and recommended Degenerate should look at it for the Ellen shop, claiming the store could sell a whole lot of stuff for Dogecoin. And of course, Ellen, probably being put on the spot, gave that answer. Oh yeah, we'll do it. I'm interested and I want to know more about it. So maybe this isn't even her fault. Maybe it's Mark Cuban who put the Doge train on her. But again, as you can see here, the talk show host clarified later on her Twitter that she was not sure she understands it or knows how to pronounce it, but it sure is fun to say. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Don't put this on your Twitter. Tell this to your audience of 1 million people that you just essentially told to buy it. Also tell them, hey, I don't understand it, know how to pronounce it, but it's just fun to say. Like, man, hey, look, stocks 2021, crypto 2021, you have to love it.
Hey, all I got to say is the last cryptocurrency to be on digital, on Ellen DeGeneres' show was XRP. So if you need
Hilarious.
a primer for the types of coins that they allow on there, it's usually the coins that get a lot of hype. They pump the holy hell, and then everybody thinks they're gonna get rich overnight. I'm sure that 13% pump we just saw in Dogecoin was probably because of the Ellen DeGeneres show, and because Dogecoin has been seen as a joke in the crypto community for so many years. It is hilarious to see Mark Cuban, the guy who said he would rather buy bananas than Bitcoin, the hardest money ever
That's
created.
what people are listening to right now.
That's who people are listening to. Hey, Marky Mark, go back to the Mavericks, make sure they straight, get Porzingis knee straight or whatever, because the digital currency world obviously isn't for you. We introduced you to Bitcoin, you came in, and then you went straight to Doge. What are you doing? So I think him selling goods for Dogecoin will allow people to feel like they're spending a digital currency. But if you can print it whenever you want, I mean, it's 10,000 Doge printed every block. Come on, man. It's just, it is what it is, man. It's just a joke cryptocurrency.
And again, this isn't a beat on Doge Day, people, but
it's not. It's just, it is what it is.
Like, I mean,
people, it's a joke coin. I mean,
for one, it's crazy, like irresponsible for Mark Cuban to try to pump Doge. Like, to me, it says a lot. It says a lot about him as an investor and everything. Everybody, Mark Cuban is Mark Cuban. No, Mark Cuban was another guy who sold his .com company at the right time and made $1 billion, people. And essentially, since then, his net worth hasn't dramatically increased or decreased. Okay, he stayed about the same from when he bought the company, maybe a little bit more with the Mavericks acquisition and their worth. But as far as actually, I mean, we see him on Shark Tank, people. Mark Cuban doesn't have a hard job. You got a pot of money that you got from your company. All right, you got your one check in the box, your one main event, and everything else you just been, oh, well, I'll invest in this, I won't invest in that. Bitcoin is bananas, but I'll invest in Dogecoin. My point is, he isn't the guy to listen to or follow your strategy from. And what's crazier is that if the chips ever do fall, if the lights ever come on at this party and the real Doge holders say it's time to sell, and that those 20 wallets sell the 65% and start dumping that, I mean, that price is going to drop.
Oh, yeah. Cascaded Mountains, baby. It's going straight.
So definitely want to keep people in the loop about that one. What's going on? Yeah, Oakland in the house, Black Beach. It's a joke coin, but you can treat it like a hustle coin. Hey, whatever helps you sleep at night. No, Blues Lover. This is why Cuban talking about politics pissing me off. He's a joker. Roland Hamilton, the US dollar is a joke too. Great point though, Roland. All right. With all that being said, great point. I just saw Joe Biden's going to tax some people. We're going to print out another $2 trillion or something. Great point. The US dollar is a joke too, but we use it. Hey, with that being said, you're right. I'll take Dogecoin more serious just off that comment, actually.
Yeah. Hey, you know what game theory may be playing out right here is the fact that because these rich dudes, somebody just mentioned Jordan Belfort, Wall Street Bets, Elon Musk, all these people jumping on Doge, it's because they want to take control of a supply because they can't control the Bitcoin supply. I've heard that game theory before, and I believe it. I was like, it's not just them. I know whales that y'all will never know about that have done that with other projects. They've literally co-opted the whole project. It's like 20, 40 of them. And then they just want to take control of it, whether the coin is good or not. So
that's a good point. I can see that actually happening. Yeah. And it's happening. Again, people, this is the jacked up part about it. Like when it comes to the mainstream adoption, all that, like the saying goes, it's easier to fool people than to show them they've been fooled. Like literally there are more people talking about Dogecoin than Bitcoin, regardless of how you feel about the projects and whether it's a hustle coin, money, whatever, it's not a better project than Bitcoin. Like just being technically sound is not a better project. So that's just the funny part about it, is that more people know about that than Bitcoin, but it is a good thing. Of course, it's a base hit to get people involved in crypto. So that's good. Let's see. S1 Dove said they know about the fundamental issues with Dogecoin, but never mentioned it. Kendra said, I listened to Mark Cuban 3 years ago about Bitcoin and didn't buy. I'll never listen to him again. Exactly, people. Let's see. Leroy Forbes said, let them know. I'm sick of people thinking that Mark Cuban is a super smart guy. He's a jock that accidentally hit a lick with a project that he didn't even know would be profitable. That's like, I mean, you gotta call it for what it is, people, but it's all good. I'm not mad at that though. But just because I break into somebody's home and steal a bag of $10 million, I mean, I'm some type of like, what's it called? Historical thief, or, you know, I can go in the history books as the top thief in the world, this big heist guy. You know, I'm like, no, you just broke into my house because you're a thief. You found a bag of a bunch of money, and now you're rich. It's like you're not some intellectual thief. We're breaking the houses. We're gonna do these wires. It's like, no, you didn't do
Oh yeah, that's like the dudes and the girls on Instagram. They get 1 million followers off pictures and videos, and then they send like inspirational quotes.
I didn't come here for inspiration.
Oh man, you were born beautiful. Shut up. You did not have all these all these spiritual Gandhi quotes talking about your life. But yeah, I mean, again, it's sometimes people get, now I want to say lucky because I'm sure he worked a little bit hard, but you get one good hit, everybody believes you for everything else. So
yeah, no, I'm giving you Black Beach. We just give you a hard time. Black Beach said, I'm not defending Doge. It's a joke. I said, treat it like a side chick. Straight up, we giving you a hard time. All right. That's enough Dogecoin talk today. Listen, that literally is the new Ripple army. All you gotta do is say Doge on the video. Hey, about 1,500, 2,000 spikes right there.
Yep.
All right, 50 million reportedly stolen from BSC-based Uranium Finance. Hackers are back at it again. Uranium Finance joins the growing list of hack projects on the Binance Smart Chain network. It could possibly be because projects are literally copy and pasting code and throwing it on the Binance Smart Chain network, but that's none of my business. It looks like Uranium Finance, an automated market maker platform on the Binance Smart Chain, has reported a security incident that resulted in a loss of about $50 million. Tweet on Wednesday, Uranium revealed that the exploit targeted is Volume 2.1 token migration event and that the team was in contact with the Binance security team to mitigate the situation. First and foremost, this is a great time to actually hit a project when they're migrating. So for people who are at these projects, I'm sure they should even know you're dealing with APIs, you're trying to migrate from different things, you're trying to update your versions. Like, security should be the primary focus. So it's crazy to see as they're migrating and as they're doing this, when security has their eyes on the project, that it was actually exploited as well. So this is crazy to see what's going on with Uranium.
Oh man. So the hacker reportedly took advantage of bugs in Uranium's balance modifier logic that inflated the project's balance by a factor of 100, allowing him to steal 50 million from the project. And as of the time of writing, the contract created by the hacker still holds 36.8 million in Binance Coin and Binance USD. The rest of the stolen funds includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Tether, Cardano, and U92, the project's native coin. So he has that spread around, or him or her or whoever them that stole it. The alleged mastermind of the theft has already moved 2,400 Ethereum worth about 5.7 million using Tornado Cash. So he's trying to obviously mix it so it can be as private as possible. But again, with these projects, I want people to understand Uranium Finance is not the first, will not be the last. Just like we see with DeFi projects, I believe it was 17 that got hacked last year or got exploited. You got to understand, if it's not vetted, if it's not audited, just because you're first to market doesn't mean it's best. And it also doesn't mean that it's ready. So these exploits happen, 50 million. We don't know how much he was able to get away with, but I do not see here that he was caught. So it may be, I mean, there is speculation, as it says here, whether the attack was an inside job, given the sudden decision to engineer another version upgrade barely 11 days after completing the migration. So again, it may be an inside job. Maybe somebody found it and was like, oh, this would be a perfect time to do it and skirt away. You never know. But most of these projects, they definitely need to get audited.
There we go. Oh, and make sure you smash those like and share, people. We're starting to get a lot of notifications from our warriors in the chat that said these likes need to get up, people. Smash those likes and share. Go ahead and push that little thumbs up under the video. Let's get it. What's going on, J Dot? Let's see. And I see a couple of people shilling coins without saying the coin name. Stop being scared. Shill your coin. Look, we got our warriors in there for a reason. Shill your coin. Somebody said most people too busy buying Bitcoin and Dogecoin, laughing and mentioned their coin, but didn't say which shit coin it was.
Yeah, say it out loud so we can laugh at it.
Right now, Brown. I'm talking about you, Brown. Shill your coin.
Shill it so we can go in on it.
We can eat it up live. Look, every now and then we got a time of the day. Look, here's the thing, people. My thing is, when people talk negative of Bitcoin, for example, give me the technical reason. Give me the technical reason. And right now, the only technical reasons I can see, which have come up again, and we saw this in 2017, is scaling. Yes, the transaction fees are a bit high, especially if you're using places like Exodus. As they begin to go public, they ramping up them fees. Yeah, the fees are high, but right now we saw back in 2017, it was a technical issue that could be fixed. So right now I'm looking at that as the same thing. So tell me your issues with Bitcoin. That we need to have a day like that. Come with the smoke for Bitcoin day. Everybody
Oh
calling
yeah.
that's why they hate Bitcoin.
I was gonna say I did one of those on IG just to test it out. I'm about to start doing it weekly. It's called F Bitcoin, but yeah.
Marquise Harris said, what are your thoughts on staking on exchanges? Again, whenever you're using exchanges in general, it's a scary thing. I saw one exchange recently essentially just did an exit scam for almost $100 million. People, it shouldn't happen because exchanges are trying to go public, but all it would have taken was for Coinbase to wake up and say, actually, we can make more money if we just leave the space altogether right now. And you're like, what do you mean? Like, no direct listing, no IPO. Let's just take everyone's money and leave. If Coinbase were to take everyone's crypto and leave, the price of Bitcoin would dip and there'd be all this craziness going on. And then the price of Bitcoin would one day recover. No one would be arrested. Nothing would happen. Like, your crypto would be gone, people, even at a company the size of Coinbase. Your crypto will be gone. Now, I will say maybe things will change these days because I'm sure there's some Congress people and some senators money in Coinbase too. And knowing how they do, they will want to go call gang for backup and for help. But by and large, if you're a normal citizen, your money's gone. So that's my thoughts whenever it comes to anything when it comes to exchanges. When you talk about staking, we talked about it on our Sunday show, but you can stake decentralized now, folks. There's different protocols. You can go to stake your money, different liquidity. You can provide liquidity for different protocols. I think you can even stake stuff on Uniswap and stuff. So there's so many other places to do staking that you don't even have to go to exchange. But if you wanted to, way to look at it. Khalifa, it is funny. I will say they're talking about AMP. We actually talked about this the other day on Sunday as well. Or was it yesterday when we talked about Gemini that partnered with MasterCard? And I said, well, what about the Flex network and AMP? People, I saw it too. It pumped like crazy yesterday. I think this is actually like the second time it's pumped that much. I don't think it's the next pump and dump if they can get the network off the ground, but that remains to be seen, right?
Yeah.
All right. What's that?
I said, yeah, always got to be proven until we can say something about it.
Exactly. All right. Last but certainly not least, Ethereum on a high after European Investment Bank 121 million digital bond news. What's going on with Ethereum?
Oh, yeah. So a lot of people on Twitter saw the news come out and saw the price of Ethereum skyrocket because it has climbed to 2,709 early trading in Asia on Wednesday. The crypto metrics provider reports a gain of 7% over the last 24 hours because Reuters today attributed it to the European Investment Bank launching a digital bond sale using the Ethereum network. So the EIB is issuing a 2-year, $120 million digital bond with the sale to be led by Goldman Sachs, Banco Santander, and Societe Generale. And this is something that I was talking with King earlier, was that if you can't take out Bitcoin, the thing banks may do is put their money into Ethereum or try to issue bonds and try to turn it into some sort of programmable money. Because if you can't take out Bitcoin, you can try and push number 2 ahead, so to say. And by the looks of it, the people who support it, Goldman Sachs, I mean, at the top of the list, I can only imagine that this is what's about to happen. So the actual quote here: the amount of Ethereum sitting on exchanges continues to drop lower, has been the lowest in the past year. With less supply on exchange available, there's less likely a chance of a major sell-off. So again, this is why I think they think this is a good idea as far as digital bonds. And of course, long term, people are trying to turn Ethereum into money. So this is something that they want to add fuel to their fire. However, I don't really trust it. Anything Goldman Sachs puts their hand in, I already know some nefarious stuff going on. But $121 million, nothing to sniff at.
Essentially what's going on, this should have been the theme for today. Like, we need to call this Bcash Day, people. Like, right now, the actual trend in crypto is Bcash. And the reason why I say it, again, quick history lesson for those who don't know, Bcash essentially started when people could not take control of the Bitcoin network. When we couldn't fork it how they wanted to. Roger Ver, Jahan Wu, everybody in that New York agreement, Benny Lingram, even though he tried, I was there, but I was just seeing what they was talking about. I wasn't going to partner with them. Yeah, ain't nobody trying to hear it. You was a part of the squad, all right? Look, I wish you would be a part of my clique in the same room talking business, and then you go out in the real world talking about some. No, I just want to hear what they was going to say. You playing now. Bet that. Don't come to the next meeting. But anyway.
A bunch of whiny babies couldn't get their way.
But seriously, with all that being said, this is a Bcash event. You already mentioned game theory. I saw one of our warriors mention game theory as well. But essentially, they cannot, and when I say they, I mean the billionaires, the regulators, everyone who has this bloodthirsty thing for power. I think it is like a psychological insane trait. But these people who are psychologically unstable, who just want to own and control everything, since they can't do that with Bitcoin, now they're saying, okay, well, let's do it with Dogecoin and take over that market. Okay, let's make Ethereum actual money or actual store of value instead of Bitcoin. Let's do Ethereum bombs. Let's do Ethereum this. Do Dogecoin this. Let's do what's the other one everybody's talking about right now? Let's do Cardano this.
Cardano, yeah.
Polkadot this. Let's do everything but Bitcoin. People, we know you think you're geniuses. We believe it. But this was already happening in 2017. There was already a whole new crew of people with ICOs that made more money and made a bigger splash than what people are doing now in 2021 who had this same thought process. No Bitcoin. Let's use this next big one. Let's use this next big one. Let's use this next big one. So with all that being said, to me, this is just an extension of that. It's a continuation of that, of what we saw with the Bcash event. And now it's just happening on a larger scale. I think we'll continue to see it next year and the year after that. But again, the bottom line is you all aren't doing anything special. Mark Cuban, you're not doing like, let me tell you who the smart people in crypto and Bitcoin actually are, people. Go to GitHub. You'll see who all the actual smart people are in this space. Like just go to GitHub and look at some of those developers on the Bitcoin project or some of these other projects. You don't see Mark Cuban name on there. You don't see Elon Musk name on there. Like you don't see these names for a reason, people. They don't know what they're talking about or doing in the crypto space. At least for you all, I will say possibly for their own portfolio, they probably do know what they're talking about. But I don't got $100 million on no coins or no projects. Do you?
No.
So it makes like 0 cents to look at though.
Yeah, I want to say that I feel like it's sort of inside job. I was saying with Goldman Sachs because I saw like a tweet war between who was it? Raoul Paul, or I think that's his name, Raoul Paul. I think he used to work for Goldman Sachs, if I'm not mistaken. And it's funny that it's getting pushed into Ethereum. I'm starting to see them say that like this is the new, because in my opinion, like his thoughts on Ethereum, he thinks it's just as good as Bitcoin. Whatever, people can think whatever they want. The proof is in the pudding. We already know it's better, but long term, I want people to understand this is what happens when people can't take control. If they can't control it, they'll find another way to try and slide in. And because again, the POS, the piece of shit protocol, as I call it, that they got going forward, you're going to have people staking that have the most Ethereum. Who's going to control it? The richest people. So they're trying to get back to that old system using that as Ethereum, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like that name. Thank you, Yaya. Economic psychopaths, for sure. That is the name. And one thing I also will, oh yeah, fumble the face. We were talking about this morning. Tomorrow, 11K subs, 25 away. Let's get it. Yeah, you know, the one thing I will mention with all that, again, people, we just want to make the difference on this show between if you're a trader or investor. Like that's something you have to answer and ask yourself. If you're an investor, then you should take heed to what we're saying. But if you're a trader, then none of this matters, people. If you're a trader, then you're actually paying attention to the market 24/7. You know, you have your buy and your sell points in. You have an idea of when the prices are going to go where. Yeah, play around with Dogecoin. Play around with some of these crap coins we hear about. Play around with whether they're a solid project or a terrible project. Play around with it if you're actually trading it. But if you're not actually trading it, people, this is all we're saying. That what you don't want to happen is for you to go into one of these projects at 40 cents and then, oh, maybe I'm going to be in this holding pattern for 2 or 3 weeks now. And that's if you have strong enough hands to hold on to a project after it dips. Like people usually don't have strong enough hands to hold on to a project after they lose 40% of their money in it and say, no, I know it's going to come back. Like give it a couple more days. Like they don't do it. So again, just know if you're an investor or a trader, if you're an investor, as somebody said, buy, hold it, put it on your cold devices, your cold storage devices, forget about it. But if you're actually trading it, hey, trade on, people, but just make sure you're actually trading it. If you haven't looked at your wallet in a week and a half, 2 weeks, you're probably not trading it. You're probably investing in it, which is okay as well. Let's see, Scott. Great point, Scott. This is one of the greatest comments on the show so far today. The only time I've ever made profit has been when I stopped listening to anyone and simply did my own research. There you go, folks.
That's how you do it.
Your own portfolio strategy is going to be different than the person next to you. Maybe they're just trying to get an extra $50 a month. Maybe you're trying to get an extra 200. Maybe somebody else is trying to get an extra 2,000. Maybe somebody else is trying to get an extra 2 million and 20 million. All of those will have different trading strategies attached to it. So just make sure you're looking at yours and what works for you as well. All right, Bitcoin Zay, you have anything else for today?
Nothing else for today. Shout out to everybody on Clubhouse that listened to us, that listened in today. Appreciate you.
Yes, Yaya say, I haven't learned to trade crypto yet. Will that be covered in the masterclass? Yes, that definitely will be covered in masterclass. You're gonna know how to trade crypto when the masterclass is done. You're gonna know how to look for certain projects you want to, and then what to do when you actually find it as well. So for sure on that. Other than that, that is the show for today. Make sure you smash that like and share.